Welcome to Your Number Man, where we share financial strategies, business insights, and inspiring stories to help you navigate a successful business. I am your host, Johan Czanik, and my goal is to help you achieve a bigger life in business. Well, today we're going to have a great episode on Your Number Man. I am very fortunate today because I've been treated to have got two beautiful guests in my studio, two lovely ladies, Maddi and Rebecca Sherman. Rebecca is my good friend. She is also a business mentor, and one of her mentees is actually Maddi. Maddi has recently started a business, Paws and More, where she's making produce, snacks for cats and dogs. She used to be a veterinary nurse, and she knows a lot about animals, and she decided, no, my passion is really, I want to start my own business, and I want to get into the business of helping people to understand the nutrition of pet care as well. And she started that business, and then Rebecca helped her along the way as well. That's a short introduction, but perhaps, Maddi, I'm going to give you the mic. Welcome, first of all.
Thank you for having me.
Great. So give us a short little bit of more detail about your business.
Yeah. Paws and More Pet Care was originally created as a pet care company that looked after your pets while you were on holidays. And then I went in to study and working in a veterinary clinic. And then that was full-time, so I had to stop that. And then after I finished my degree, I took Paws and More Pet Care in a different direction and started making nutritional treats for pets. And then, so.
Yes, and the rest is history.
And
you are about
history.
to make a lot of history as well.
Yes.
With your business. Maddi, just quickly tells us there, it's interesting products that you put out there, but just for the purpose that our audience can understand what goes into your products, just give us a quick rundown.
Yeah, so in some of my products, you'll see that I love to use yogurt and goat's milk. So a lot of people out there have become aware of gut issues, and they'll opt to do like a probiotic from like a pet store. But what people don't realize is yogurt's a natural probiotic, and goat's milk is a pro and prebiotic too, and it's a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
So you can use food in that sense. Blueberries, high in fiber, anti-aging for pets. Raspberries, with a dog that's struggling with weight issues, it makes them feel fuller for longer. So using food as a tool to counteract, buying expensive products, because some probiotics out on the market can be $50, $60. Yes, you're getting a more concentrated amount, but why not add it into their diet every day and still get those benefits? Yeah, I use yogurt.
But a cat's not going to eat yogurt.
Some do.
All right.
Some do.
Yeah. But you got something for the cats as well?
Yeah, so the cats, I've got dehydrated sardines with catnip. So some cats love catnip, and it's also used as a relaxant, or with some cats, it depends. It can make them a bit of a psycho cat or a really relaxed cat. So it just depends. And sardines are really high in omega-3 and 6s, so really good for their joints, bones, coat, skin.
And dogs as well, because I think my dog
thing.
likes sardines as well.
Yeah. So it's just, using everyday foods that, we even consume for them.
Yeah,
so
that's interesting. And it's
important.
a bit like we as humans, we probably don't always eat the right things. We just think it's right because they won't sell you poison, but probably people are sometimes selling us poison, specifically if it's highly processed.
Absolutely.
And it's the same with dogs, what's going on in the dog industry as well. Yes.
So my dog, the reason why it sparked my brain was my dog has really bad allergies, and for most of his life he's had allergies. And what I've come to learn now is, yes, it's from the environment, but also his food. And some treats that I was feeding him, you look on the back of packets and you want to be cautious of fillers, preservatives, agents, any type of number. You Google it and you'll find that a side effect is probably irritated gut or irritated skin, or the pet could end up, some pets I've found working in clinic have ended up in hospital from certain food. It's just always read your packets.
Read your packets, and then it's
and
also
actually question what's in them.
And it's also a mindset, because I know some people say, the dog's only going to be around for 10 to 15 years. What else can you do? But it's also about quality of life.
Correct.
Isn't
So
it?
you
Yeah.
could have a pet that's in and out of a veterinary clinic for a second half of its life, whereas if you implemented even small, thoughtful changes when they're younger, may prevent those vet visits in the future.
And potentially
Yeah.
extend the dog's life to
Correct.
longer.
Yeah.
Because dogs can live up past 15 years.
Correct. Yeah.
I think we had that discussion last
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Dependent on breeds and what, their genetic makeup and so forth. But this is why I use sometimes different ingredients to what's out there. So for some of them, I've got hemp seeds in them, which is, again, not concentrated, but a high amount of omega-3 and 6s, which is great, and it can be added in their everyday diet, and no side effects.
Yeah, and the same for humans as well. you know.
Correct.
Yeah.
So
there you go.
lots of knowledge.
Lots-
I could talk about it for hours.
Yeah, and we should actually go to one of those dog cafes and you give me a bit of a rundown.
Yeah.
I'll take Odie. He'll
Yeah.
be just like creating havoc around the place as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So Beck, hey,
Hi.
welcome. Hello again, and
Hello
in the
again.
studio, and give us a bit of a rundown. Where do you fit in as a business mentor?
All right. So I work for APM and we run a program called Self-Employment Assistance. And Maddi she registered her interest and I got in contact back with her. And she got onto the program after doing a short 8 weeks of training, a training activity with us. And so Maddi's gone a real long way without my help. And with my help, I suppose I've helped you in some instances that I can think of at least. But no, really, she is the entrepreneur here. And that's one of the things that we also offer at APM is a free cert for an entrepreneurship and new business, which can help clients and with business just improve their knowledge of business and application. And anyway, getting back to Maddi, she's a real go-getter and she's gone from representing herself in the on-made shops, which I think was a really great thing for you. Three different on-made shops in the Westfield fields that you Marion, go on.
What shops, sorry?
On-made.
On-Made Meet the Maker. So it's a local collaborative space of small business owners in SA. So I originally started my business and then started at the Westlake store in Westfield and then branched out to Marion and then TTP. And that was great for exposure, and Christmas time is just crazy, and a lot of my customers I have been thankful they followed me.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was a really good exposure for you, though, wasn't it, to start with? And then you decided that you didn't need that anymore, that exposure, because you'd built up your brand awareness significantly, and that you were getting stockists on board.
Oh, great. So it's a bit of an incubator program. Yeah, help people with extra kickstart.
Yeah. So Maddi, instead of having those ongoing costs, chose then to branch out on without that.
Because markets are my bread and butter, basically. My markets are great for me. I wanted to hone in on that a little bit more, and it was
That's great. And I did touch a little bit on it briefly because you got your own 2 little dogs as well.
Yes.
I don't know, are they little? No, they're big.
Big
isn't
dogs.
They're big, isn't it?
Yes.
It's Indy and
Charlie,
all right. What inspired you to leave your secure job behind and dived into the entrepreneurial space?
Yeah, I guess where I did work, it was a hospital, so it was 7 days a week. You'd do split shifts. It was pretty wild. And then post-COVID, it was even more demand. Yeah, so after that, I study and full-time work. I wanted to have a bit of, downtime, and then accidentally started Paws and More, and it went great, and didn't really want to go back after that.
It was 4 years, though, wasn't it, that you worked in as a vet nurse?
Full-time, 4 years, studying full-time for 3 years as well. And I guess seeing what I was seeing through the clinic, I think that there are steps that you can take before things become an issue, so preventatives, which is through eating healthy for some pets. So there's a few conditions that I think could be
just like humans, hey?
Yeah, exactly.
So the whole thing is so you
More a natural approach.
and you had your vision.
Yes.
You had your vision, and Beck helped you to make sure that your product or your business is going to be viable as well.
Absolutely.
And work.
I think I've been really a little bit motivational for you and more just support with your ideas, going, I love it, go for it, especially with how you've been diversifying or differentiating your products.
Yeah.
and your product line's really grown.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you just bounce it off me. But I think
Yeah.
really you've got it all going on. You understand the market, which is really important.
Understanding the
Yeah.
market. Yeah, so the purpose for today is then we want to basically tell inspiring stories to the audience, people like Maddi, and there's help available, people like Beck and other business mentors.
Yeah.
To really zone into your products, into your numbers, into your markets, and make sure that you pursue your vision, make sure it's viable. And Beck, from your point of view, how do you see mentorship as general helping small business?
Well, I think everyone needs someone to bounce ideas off for a start, and also to help with motivation and perhaps hold people to account. I don't think Maddi's one of those people that needs to be held to account, because you do go and do what you say, but some people fear failure. So it's good to have someone going, okay,
Yeah.
have you done these things? And that's what basically I do a lot of the time, and also suggest some ideas as well as guide people with pricing or competitors. Doing your competitor analysis is really important in the first initial stages, and that's what we look at in the training component when people are getting their business plan and finance tables together.
Yeah.
The finance tables, as you would know, Johan, are a great tool for any business. So it's a finance forecast that we help people with. Okay, so we get everyone's personal costs or expenses together to work out what their drawings are, the personal drawings on the business, and also what their business expenses are, and then how many sales they need to make to pay for all those expenses, both personal and business, and then make profit after that. So it gives them a bit of a guide. Okay, I need to make this many sales just to break even and to make a profit. So that can be really beneficial, especially for first-time business people, which is predominantly who we help, people like startups.
Yeah.
Sometimes we get businesses that are just needing an extra little bit of help to continue and without falling over. So they get a little bit of financial assistance from the Department of Employment and Workplace Relations. They actually pay a little bit of a financial assistance.
Yeah, great. Now you're talking my language now, because I'm known as the number man. If you, and it's all about numbers, and I like the fact that you stress is you really help people. Not just you, but all mentors and all business coaches and all people involved in business stress the fact how important it is to really drill into your numbers. Make sure you understand your costing. Make sure you're on top
Maddi
of.
would know all about that.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that you do a lot of drilling into your numbers, Maddi, because at this stage you probably don't have a lot of history, like you say. It was all, but you're busy rewriting the history almost now. But
Yeah, I'm not the best
Yeah.
with numbers. That's not my strong suit. So definitely, Beck has helped me with that a lot. And I think that's something that I definitely need, to work on. But I'm learning.
but it's all about budgeting.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
It is all about budgeting and knowing what's coming up expenses-wise. You can
Yes.
see on a spreadsheet in front of you that each month what your expenses are coming up as well, so that you can, in the forecast, so that you can actually go, okay, well, I definitely need to have this much to be able to pay all those expenses off so that my business doesn't sink. And or I'll have to get financial assistance, which is not as easy these days as it probably was once upon a time. And so it's really important, yes. And Johan, I do push my clients to listen to your podcast to get familiar with financial speak, the words, the terms, and things like that, because you do present it in a real
Thank you.
easy to understand way, which is good for especially startups.
That's
People
right,
without
I
any
like.
experience, and people who do have experience, just to hear other people's journey.
That's right. Yeah, we want to explore your journey and other journeys. Sometimes we get a specialist in the program, and today I'm happy to have a specialist and a young person that's very inspirational as well. But Maddi, talking about just touching a little bit more on the finances, how hard was it for you to start a business? Did you get a little bit of financial help, financial funding? How did you go about that in the past?
Yeah, I didn't. So I left my full-time job. I had some savings, and for me, it was basically sink or swim. This is what I wanted to do. And I started with, registering my business name, Paws and More Pet Care.
Okay, good.
And from there, just started buying all of my ingredients and then the tools that I needed to make it all myself, and then just enrolled myself in my first market, sold my stock, put that back into the business, and then I just kept going
Okay,
from there.
great. And you build up then that momentum from your
Yes.
markets.
Yes,
Because
yeah.
and I know a lot of small business owners like you as well. I got a problem. A lot of the money goes into their stock.
Mm-hmm.
And to keep it on the shelf is basically money sitting on the shelves collecting dust if you
Mm.
don't keep it rolling over. So it's important for you to keep it rolling. That's where
Yes.
probably marketing as well comes in.
Yes.
And we did touch a little bit on that before. How do you actually go about, you go to markets, you're driving
Yeah.
all around South Australia and stand on a soapbox and tell everybody about pet
Yes.
nutrition
Yeah.
and selling. But in terms of other retail shops and online, how are you doing with that areas?
Yeah, online is compared to markets a bit slower.
Mm.
And I'm also in a cafe around Glenunga as well. My stockists aren't
they?
as strong. Tony and Mark,
Oh, that's
Zeke's
right, yep.
Eatery. So I'm in there and yeah, constantly reaching out. But what was your question again? I lost my train of thought.
How are you going
Yes.
with the platforms?
Yes. So I pay for advertising, like I pop up ads as well. So especially if there's events, so like Christmas, I'll try and hone in on that. And like Valentine's Day recently, I create all my own ads by myself. I think it's definitely, I'm at the point now where I need to have someone come in to help me with my marketing, but all of it for me is self-taught. And yeah, listening to podcasts and leaning on
Yeah.
deck.
Can I
and-
ask, where's the next market that you're going
So
to be?
next market is called Sunday Fun Day, and it's at the Tonsley district in the
Okay.
big factory there. So I'll be
Do you
there.
do that often?
Yes.
What,
So,
every-
I want to say end of month.
End
like
of month.
end of the
Okay,
month.
and after that, where would be your next market?
Port Lincoln.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
will be my next one
Yeah.
from there.
Okay, that is fantastic. And retail shops, because the problem with retail is if you're going to go into retail, you're sometimes going to give some of your margin away. And I always
Yes.
tell my clients it's like a double-edged sword. You get that more people to get hold of your product, you're sacrificing a lot of your margin.
Yes.
It's hard for you to compete with big companies, isn't it?
Absolutely. I think that's the biggest struggle. So, like, for me to go into a Foodland or a Woolworths, anything like that's probably not worth it for me. But when I was a part of On Made Meet the Maker, you would pay rent each month, and then whatever profits you made were solely yours. So that worked really well for me. Times of months that were really busy. So, for example, Christmas. So that's how I was able to get my foot in the door in Westfields. But yeah, I find that it's very difficult to compete with bigger companies.
Yes, that is bringing me to the next question. I always like going on about big business, trying to stamp over our small businesses.
I just think it's for a one-person show, if I call it a show, a one-person business. The scale of Maddi's business is not at the stage where she can really support that sort of retail, like a big supermarket chain or whatever, at this stage. And that could be something that she looks at down the track.
But in terms of
it's
what
hard. Well, I
the
suppose
problem we
it's
got,
a challenge to compete with the more established businesses that have got their foot firmly in the door and that perhaps don't sell as such a product with such integrity and that looks after the health of the dog, as we have discussed in the past. And that's, I think, one of the bases of why you started this business, wasn't it, Maddi, is because you realised that a lot of, and when you talked about it before, a lot of problems are starting with pets is with the nutritional aspect of treats and things that they're getting is not potentially there as much as the products that you're doing, which support gut health and are actually high value nutritional products.
But more in general, my question is,
what is the question? Sorry.
in general, do you think that we as business consultants, business mentors, people involved with small business, helping small business, need to really see if there's better ways to get small businesses getting their products out there, because it's very hard to compete in a retail.
Yeah, good question.
What can we do in general?
I think the presence that Maddi's having in markets is really establishing herself as a quality producer in this area, and getting her brand awareness is number one right now anyway, improving or increasing brand awareness, so which she's certainly doing. And then potentially getting a stocker in Port Lincoln would be great, that you can, before you even get there or as you go there, so that she can educate people and say you will be able to get this product in this place after I've gone, and I'll see you in a year, or maybe I'll come back for another festival here or whatever. Or you can get my product online, which is something that you're driving anyway, isn't it? People can buy product online, and so I think it's that market presence, building the brand awareness, and then pushing your online store. I think that's what we've been talking about.
And that is advice that you would give to a lot of businesses out there, small businesses, not just Maddi. Go out there, get that brand awareness.
Build that brand awareness,
You build that brand awareness, look at your margins. If the margins are favorable, try and get into some stores that really resonate with your brand.
Actually, yes, and potentially just drive the sales to her website.
Drive sales.
Maybe one store in that area might be a good idea, because the people, not everyone's a internet person.
Okay,
but
generally, because for everybody out there, you as a business, what advice would you give?
I would say, potentially get one store that sells the product in that area, and then definitely give everybody the opportunity to follow you on your socials, Instagram page, is that right?
Yeah.
Facebook as well?
Yes. Yep.
Paws and More on Facebook, Paws and More on Instagram, and then the e-commerce site can deal with the sales, and then she's not missing out on that, whatever the percentage is, 20 or so, 30 maybe in retail. More. That would be the way. And that's what we last discussed, actually. It's all coming back to me, our last mentoring meeting. We had that lovely mentoring meeting recently.
So, Maddi, what's from most of the rewarding experiences since you launched your business? What's
probably the feedback. So a lot of my customers, their dogs have health issues and are actually probably one of the only treats their pets can have. Yeah, targeting the market of pets that are missing out, and the feedback from the public of they also share my vision, my passion, and
so getting out there, getting the feedback helps a
important.
lot with, are you on the right track? That's to say, excuse the pun, but you're barking up the right tree for that matter.
Yeah,
that's right. Beck, what do you reckon are the biggest challenges that new business owners face in establishing the business?
Well, definitely having the money to pay for startup costs.
Yeah.
And then the ongoing costs to have enough money saved generally, especially, people have got some really good ideas, but it's actually having the finances behind it to get started is really important, because otherwise people are always on the back foot.
And what advice would you give to me if I walked to you tomorrow and say, hey, Beck, I've got a great idea. I've invented this new little gadget that makes you rub something and then it'll take all your itching away or whatever. I've got this.
Okay,
and I want
I'd be interested to know more about it before I say anything. Yeah.
Okay. But what advice? But I don't have any money. What advice would you tell me?
You might need some money if you're going to get it developed anywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to be offshore, unfortunately, maybe, depending on what the device is, of course. So depending on the actual build costs, the manufacturing costs of that product, and then also how much money do you have saved is a good question, I think, to put towards this business idea.
And also perhaps go and to understand my market.
Oh, absolutely. So who's your target market? Have you done a competitor analysis? They're really important. What's the size of your target market? Yeah,
and then bring it all back to your numbers to work out a business plan to say, is this
so that would be the next step, is to come into the training, the 8-week training activity, and develop your business plan and finance tables, get insurance organised, and we run through a whole lot of business name registration, checking the ABN and other things, of course, but
make sure,
talking about marketing,
all your ducks in a row,
operational,
and then ask, have you got a business mentor? Have you got some people that you can follow?
That's right.
Yeah. So there's a lot of things out there that we can use. Resources, that's the word I was looking for.
Great, yes. Well, there's also the Marion Business Hub, where they've got quite a few mentors that they offer for people in the Onkaparinga and the Marion councils. I think Holdfast Bay as well. They can actually access a whole range of different mentors there, and I think the first hour is free, and then after that it's quite an affordable rate, which is subsidised by the government, I believe, or the council, I'm not sure, but it's a really good service, and you can pick profiles on their actual website, which you can look through and see who could actually potentially help you as well. as far as mentors go. And Adelaide Business Hub offer a similar service as well.
Yes, that's right. And I'll come to it later. A sponsor of my show is also the Polaris Business Development.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, in Mawson Lakes as well. Yeah, so there's a lot of help out there. And then obviously there's people, numbers people out there that you can talk to and marketing people like the great producers of my show as well that can help business. So I reckon there's no force to be reckoned with small business in this country. We're actually the biggest employer in Australia is small business. Yeah, I think it's something like 7 million people that we employ for small businesses. So we are the real heroes of the country, is small business owners. So great on what you're doing there, Maddi. Good work. Now, what is your plan for the next 3 to 5 years? What's your vision? Where do you see your business, and how daunting was it to work on that plan?
Yeah, so next 3 to 5 years, golly, I ideally want, not solely, but most of my traffic online. That's where I would like to be, so then I can do it from wherever I am, as I do like to travel around. And still, I love the local market scene, so I'd love to do more high-scale markets. There are huge markets that you can do. For example, I don't know the name, but there's one in Canberra, which is a 3-day handmade market. That would be my goal in the next year or two, to get there and see how that goes. And just, really honing into the higher costing markets, which some of them can range between $1,000 to $3,000 to $5,000. Stall. That would be
and
my
also
goal.
Educational, I would think.
Absolutely.
It's like really go out and explain to people the nutrition in...
And then on my list to do would be a more holistic nutritional course where I can actually make plans for pets and have consultations and really
And what about the
provide
membership?
advice. Yeah, so as in the subscription that I'm
Yes.
doing? Yes. So recently started a subscription service for a wellness box that I'm doing. And I have some people in Adelaide signed up. So I'd love to offer that to a lot more people, not even, of course, in Adelaide, but other states would be great.
Yeah.
So really,
a
branch that
wellness
out.
box.
So what's that
Yeah.
called, Maddi? Paws and More Wellness Box? Is that the product?
Yeah. So they
okay.
pick between 3 treats that they constantly have on an ongoing subscription.
That is a great idea. I love it. It's a
Yeah.
bit like a wine club, isn't it?
So it arrives at your door, you don't have to
Yeah.
think about it, and your pets are happy.
Yeah,
So
and that is now again, you are talking my language, because
Oh, yes.
there's
So
also...
your dog would really love Maddi's treats.
mine, he'll probably eat anything really, for that matter. But you're talking about language, because I was talking about a product that I've recently launched, Mastering Your Pricing, and I talk about people how to master the pricing of the costing their products, and also perhaps move away beyond just normal cost plus pricing into value-based. And one of the ideas of value-based is then to research different kind of business models, and one of those models could be like subscription services, where it's more like you get your people, your clientele, to commit a certain amount per month, and it's repeating recurring incomes, which is a great idea. I love it. And you can also then leverage on it. You keep in touch with your customers.
Yes.
They're all getting newsletters.
they return.
They give you the feedback. But you say, okay, don't worry. I know you would probably like to have pig's ears with raspberry jam kind of snacks or whatever. And then next time you'll think about making something like that as well.
Yeah, that's exactly.
So good on you.
yeah.
That is great. I support that idea. That is fantastic. And answers from both of you. I'm going to ask you the same question. First to you, Beck, perhaps. I mean, you gave us a few of these answers as well. But what advice would you give aspiring entrepreneurs who want to turn their passion into business?
Oh, yeah, I think we have covered a little bit of that. But yeah, doing the numbers, speaking with you, Johan.
Yeah. Or a number of people out there, yeah?
Yes, definitely doing the numbers first is really important, and business plan is / feasibility study. But the finance tables that we offer, or I'm sure you've got finance tables you use. Yeah, really good start, crunching those numbers. How many products or services will I need to sell to actually make a profit after you've calculated all of your expenses, both personal and business? Really important. And to do that competitor analysis, how many competitors are in the local area, or am I competing with online as well? What are my products of different? What am I offering that's a little bit out there or different that the market's asking for that's not being served as well. And if you can find some products like that that you can offer, or services, differentiate your service delivery to meet unmet needs even better. So yeah, there's lots of things to take into an account, really, isn't there? And it's opening up a cafe. Open a cafe where there's good foot traffic, maybe near a playground, near a hockey field, near people walking dogs and things like that past. You just got to have good traffic.
We should actually start a dog-friendly cafe. There's probably
And
a few
most cafes, a lot of are. A lot are.
dog-friendly.
That was once one of my one of my goals.
That would be I think in actually I've been to America recently, and they've got cafes for dogs.
Solely dog
people
cafe,
goes
yeah.
there.
Yeah.
People have your
There's cat cafes too. There's one in Hobart. I think there's one here as well in Adelaide.
Hobart's got a lot of fish, so that's probably work with cats as well. And Maddi, what would your advice be for aspiring entrepreneurs out there like you? Do you tell me a bit of resilience? It's not easy starting your business. It's hard work. People think it's you got your own business. That's really nice, but it's a bit like the Titanic, like the we only see the tip of the iceberg really, which probably represents success, but nobody sees everything that's underneath the water.
Yeah, taking into account it's 24/7. Networking is your biggest thing. So always, when I'm at markets, I'm always networking. There's always someone that can help you with something and getting past your hurdles. And passion, I think, is the main thing. If you don't love your product, you're not passionate about it, I don't think you can go as far because you don't have the drive and the commitment, I think. So I think, finding what truly makes you passionate and going for it, really.
That's right. Yeah, you were one of the lucky ones out there to really find your passion and convert that into money. Yeah.
Or at least understand your product enough to believe in it.
That's great. We'll take a few pictures on Instagram and put it out there on the World Wide Web, as they say, or www. And there's also going to be some footnotes where we give Beck's information, your information on there. And it's great for you girls to come in today. It was great just to talk about business in general and hear inspiring stories of people that's heading on the right track and barking up the right tree, for that matter, as well. Beck, just to let you know, obviously you talked about your company. There's a lot of companies out there that gives help, and I'm also proud to announce that I've got actually a sponsor of my channel, and it's called the Polaris Business Development, or we just know them as the Polaris Centre. They're based in Mawson Lakes, and it's part of the city of Salisbury, and they provide guidance to support entrepreneurs and business people to grow their businesses. And the Polaris Centre is also a proud delivery partner of the Small Business Fundamental Programs, which is a great little program as well, and it's an initiative from the Government of South Australia for small and family business, and it's delivered through the Small Business Strategy of 2023 to 2030. So there's an interesting one as well that small business can get in touch with. Maddi, thanks for coming in today. Thank you. Really appreciate it, and share all your insights of wellness for dogs. There's so much questions our guests probably like to ask, but leave comment or go to the web, have a look at the footnotes, go to the websites. Yeah, that was great having you.
That was awesome. First time on a podcast. So,
fantastic.
Thank you.
And thanks for you to come in, Beck. That was really nice to have your expertise.
My pleasure, thank you.
Yeah.
It's great to see you and Maddi again so soon.
Yes.
That's good.
That's great.
Thank you.
All right, everybody. Well, we had a great show today, and I think it's time to wrap it all up. And everybody, make sure that you love your pets, take care of your pets, and feed them healthy, hey?
Absolutely.
All right, yes.
Feed them healthy,
Feed them healthy.
With Paws and More.
Paws and More, that's right, They'll come back for more. All right, this is Johan Czanik, and I'm signing off as your number man. Thanks a lot. Cheers.